Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte, and we are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. Now, over the course of his young career, our next guest has worked with legendary producers, including Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, Michael Bay, and for such directors as Barry Levinson, Ratner, Gil Kenan. You can catch him Wednesdays at 8 p.m. as series regular Geoff Schwartz on the ABC's The Goldbergs, and you'll find him in Blumhouse's latest film, Truth or Dare, here to talk to us about everything he's been up to. The great Sam Lerner's in the house. How about that, everybody, huh? That's exciting. You're right. That is the correct response to that name. Now, we're going to bring him out in just a second, but before we do, we have a quick look at the show. So, Luke, man, let's go ahead, run that clip.
I used to be best friends with my roommate, and now we fight over who left the cap off the toothpaste.
It was you, huh?
Well, it was obviously me, but that's not the point.
Okay, I think I may have a solution. When I went to visit my cousin at UCLA, I found out that there's one thing that overrules the scrunchie. An out-of-town guest. I mean, you can't make a visitor sleep in the common room. That's just rude.
And it's perfect. All I need is an out-of-town guest, and I win.
How about a foxy one who no longer needs his asthma nebulizer because he went through a year-long course of shots for dust mites? That was supposed to sound cooler than it did. How are you?
So good. Obviously, we're going to talk about Goldbergs. We're going to get to all the stuff you've been up to, man. But before we do any of that, the beauty of Build is we've got a little bit of time, and I love to, when I can, start with a very simple question. How are you? How is Sam doing?
Dude, Sam is doing great. I just got to New York. I had a bagel.
Oh, man.
It was fantastic. Yeah, the best in the world. I went to Russ and Daughters. I had some bagels, some lox. I've just been eating everything. I got here yesterday, and I've just been eating because that's one of my favorite things to do, you know. And yeah, I'm just really good. I'm happy to be on the East Coast for a second.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you're a West Coast boy, man. You born and raised, right?
Yeah. I was born and raised in LA. Yeah, so it's super cool to.
Get to New York often? Do you like?
Every couple years, not as often as I'd like to, but you know, because I'm just so successful and working in LA. So I just like,
crushing it.
I don't have time to travel. No,
you're a big deal.
Yeah. No, it's I don't come here as much as I want to, but yeah, it's great.
Russ and Daughters, good call. Whenever your bagel store has that kind of history, lineage, they have a book about like all. I mean, that place is amazing.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
that's
they have
amazing.
a book all about like the history, like they've been there for years.
Yeah, it said 1914.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They get it.
They get it.
I think a couple years ago I sent some bagels home from the other shop, the one that's like smaller. I brought them home and they just like sat in my freezer and unfortunately got like freezer burn, so I never used them. But
yeah, they lose something at that point.
Yeah,
not the same
but great
anymore.
bagels.
Well, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that, man. And I want to wish you just congratulations because I know we joked about it, but you are very successful. I will say it for you. You've done a lot of great things. You've been great in them, and I think you're on fire right now. So it's awesome that you're here, and there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Let's start with Goldberg since we've got the picture up right here.
Yeah.
You are.
I love this picture.
Isn't it a great photo?
I love all of them.
Every year there's something amazing that they throw together. I love this.
The dog.
The full wardrobe.
It's amazing. Yeah. That dog is also the sweetest dog of all time. It's just so well trained and just so nice, so professional for a dog.
Very professional attitude.
Very
with
professional
the
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just one dog? Are there dog twins? I don't know what the dog.
I think it's just one dog.
Yeah.
The dog's name on the show is Lucky, but in real life it's Sage. Anyway, I'm really interesting and I have lots of fun things to talk about.
Give me 3 more facts about Sage.
Let's talk about Sage.
I want to go in on Sage. We've got the time. This is really. In fact, Sage is here, everybody. We're gonna.
Sage. Let's bring out Sage.
Let's bring out Sage.
That's hilarious.
No, let's talk about you.
Yeah.
You are a series regular, Geoff Schwartz, founding member of the JTP. Which, when somebody says JTP, the response is. JTP. There. Hang on, that wasn't good enough. JTP. There we go. There we go. Do you get tired of that, by the way?
No, I love it. Yeah. It's the best thing in the world. I'll be walking down the street and someone screams it at me. It's the best. Yeah, it's amazing. The first time it happened was insane. It was like in my neighborhood. I was in like back when I lived in Studio City in the Valley, in LA. I was walking down the street and someone like did a U-turn and said they like pulled up next to me really quick. I thought it was like a drive-by and they were like JTP and I was like JTP, thank you. Thanks for watching the show. It was really scary, but yeah, it's super cool. It happens a lot now.
When you can get someone to divert their path entirely and change their entire trajectory to come yell at catchphrase.
It was amazing.
That's a sign.
It's a sign that you're doing something right.
You are definitely doing something right at that point.
Yeah.
this has been a huge season, a couple of seasons really for your character and for you. What's it been like getting to expand the world of Geoff and grow this character and find all these new fun things about him? Like,
Dude, it's been amazing. Like I came on in season 2 as just like you said, a member of the JTP, and one of Barry's friends on the show. But then the writers kept writing for me and made my role a little bigger, and now I'm like full on a love interest of Erica, of Hale Arantia there. And it's just been awesome. Like I feel like the character like has all these different like layers to him that I didn't get to show before, and it's just cool. I mean, I love the show. All the writers are hilarious. They're all like stand-up comedians and improv people who are people I look up to. And yeah, it's just been awesome. And working with like Wendy and Jeff Garland, like it's crazy. I sometimes am just like, how is this happening? It's insane.
still surreal, even now, season 5. I think.
Yeah, season 5. Yeah, we're about to start shooting season 6, which is amazing.
That's unbelievable.
So cool.
I'll hold for applause while we cheer for season 6.
Yeah, so cool. It's all thanks to me, guys.
No,
all thanks to me.
I've said it for years. You carry this entire cast.
My
Honestly,
man. Me and Sage.
you and Sage
Yeah.
are the heart and soul of this show.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I'm on the poster.
You can't tell, but there's a locket that Sage is wearing. You're inside the locket.
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
When you started out in season 2, you came into it. Like you said, you were just part of the JTP. There we go. Okay, good. Just checking.
Thank you.
And
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Thank
I
you,
love
guys. And you're starting off. What were your aspirations? What was in your head? Could you ever envision in a million years that by a couple of seasons from now, I'm going to be a regular in the show? I'm going to have this relationship. I'm going to be learning all these things.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. It was just a guest star, and they said possible recurring. So the first season we all did 7, me and the whole JTP. And then the next year it was like 16 episodes. So it just like kept growing. But no, I had no idea. Like I hadn't even seen the show at the time. Like I didn't know what it was. Like I had heard of it because I actually auditioned for Barry. But I hadn't seen it. And then it just somehow happened and kept growing. And the writers and the creator of the show, Adam Goldberg, is just awesome and like really liked me and told me that he liked the work I was doing. So I continued to just like work hard and try to be really good there so that it could turn into this.
What does work hard mean for you? Like what does that look like?
That's
like,
interesting.
I got to apply myself when I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I mean it's it's different when I work on like drama or stuff like that. With comedy, I mean it comes a little easier, I guess. Like it's learning the lines obviously is first, but yeah, just like trying, like I would kind of like try different things on each take, which is tough to do in a network show because it's kind of a formula. But I would put like little buttons on scenes. Like if I had the last line of a scene, I would kind of just improvise something at the end. And I think that kind of like showed them that I care and that that I'm working outside of just what's written there, So I just kind of tried to make it my own, like whenever I was there and show my personality there.
As the writers have evolved, Geoff, and as the character's role has grown and become more significant within the show, have you found the things that you were doing to make it your own that they sort of picked up on and sort of throwing in?
Yeah,
That's exciting.
They write like the way I speak now. It's so funny. I'll have a line and I just it's so natural for me now because I also have hung out with the writers outside of work a lot, so they kind of just get me. Yeah, and they've told me before that they like writing for my character because they think that I do a good job. So it's just they really write in my voice now, which is so interesting, like with my little inflections and.
Is that something that you're sort of intrigued by? Something you're looking at, like writing as well as acting? Like you hang out with them, you're surrounded by it, you see how much fun it can be. Are you thinking about?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I mean, I know for sure that I love comedy and I want to be in it, but I've never done stand-up. I've never done anything like that. I don't know if that's for me, but writing, like I've definitely written some like little sketches and stuff. I've never written any features or television or anything, but yeah, someday like writing, directing for sure. Especially when you work on a show like this that's like such a well-oiled machine, it's like I've seen how it works and I could picture myself directing, someday, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're experiencing it from within. You're seeing how all the different
Totally.
pieces move and how the puzzle comes together.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Have they ever because there's a great standout moment. I believe it was this season. You got the Goldbergs go out for dinner. Jeff goes out for dinner. And my God, that episode's amazing.
Dude, that was
and
my
Jeff
favorite.
has a meltdown, just like he's reached his peak. That is it. And I don't think we've seen that side before. And that was really exciting. One, I want to talk about that episode. But before we get to that part, has there ever been like a little ism or a little thing that you were like, I don't know if that necessarily fits, but I'll give it a go. Or no, they've locked in. They've got it now.
Like for my character on the show?
Yeah.
No, I feel like I always just trust them. Like they just know what they're doing now. And that episode specifically was arguably my biggest episode on the show ever, and was so fun. Like they let me scream at everyone. I scream at Jeff Garlin. Like I yell at him. It was crazy. Yeah, no, that episode was awesome, and really they trusted me with a big role, which was awesome, and I was super happy. Those were long hours though, and it was interesting because normally we shoot at the house or at the school. Like this was the one episode of the Goldbergs that takes place in one location, which was just that restaurant. Yeah. So it was interesting. We all got like a little testy towards the end of the days because they were just so long sitting, most of which happened at the table. So yeah, but that was such a fun episode for me, and so cool to like spend that quality time with everyone.
Well, that's amazing because
cool.
you don't even think about that when you're watching it. But yeah, it's in one spot. Everyone in the cast is in every scene and every shot.
Yeah.
And you guys are there just bottled up together all day doing that one episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we all got really close. Jeff Garlin stole my phone one of those days and was just like DMing people from my Instagram. And he's nuts, so he was just saying some terrible things, and it was great, and everyone's like, what? And I was like, sorry, that was Jeff Garlin, and then that makes me seem like a name dropper, but it's like, he really stole my phone, and he was like, no one's going to believe you that I did that, and I'm like, cool, thanks,
You're
Jeff.
right.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Were you able to undo the damage?
I undid the damage. It was okay.
To you, when you got the script for that episode and you saw like how much they were going to be leaning on you, how much they trusted you and believed in you, did you get a little nervous?
I did, but it was cool because they wanted to make that episode for a couple years. Actually, Adam has talked about that he always had a plan for this episode, but he didn't know how to execute it. So they thought it was perfect for my character because it's like you're seeing it from my eyes, from outside of the family. I'm like the one person that's not in the family, but yet I'm associated with the family. So yeah, it definitely felt like a lot of pressure, especially because it was that bottle episode where they haven't really done that before. But yeah, they also had talked to me about the fact that I used to post videos of my dad on Instagram ordering at Chinese restaurants, and he's just very abrasive when he orders. He's like, okay, I will have this, and then I will have this. Can you read it back to me? Like, he's very serious about his food ordering. So the creator of the show had seen those videos, and he was like, you get it. You understand what it's like, how embarrassing it is to go out to eat with your family, like anytime. Going out to eat with my family is a whole thing because it's like my dad's telling my mom what she can order. She's like, well, she makes us move seats every 5 minutes. She's like, there's a draft over here, or I don't want to sit by the window, or I do want to sit by the, I don't want to sit by the bathroom.
Table's too close to the kitchen.
Exactly.
All of that.
All of those things are in this episode, so it was like he knew that I got it, so I would understand the tone of this episode and like exactly how to execute it. So yeah, it's
kind
my
of
life.
the brilliance of that show is tapping into those things that are universal, and also everyone kind of feels like a sense of ownership over it. It's something we all go through, but we all think that we're the only ones. And so when you see it,
It's
like,
so
on
embarrassing,
TV,
but it's like
oh my gosh,
everyone can relate.
this is exactly how it is for me.
Exactly.
You mentioned your dad in the Instagram videos.
Yeah.
Something I didn't realize, so I was doing research. I don't know how many people in here already know this, but your dad on the Goldbergs is your dad. That's the real guy.
Yeah. He's a character actor. He's been acting for like 40 years. He's actually from New York. So, but yeah, he like I said, I posted those videos on Instagram, and the creator Adam Goldberg knew who my dad was, obviously because he's been working forever. But he wasn't necessarily always thinking about him. But then I posted those videos, and he was like, "Dude, would your dad want to do the show?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" Like. Yeah. What a dream come true for me. And like my dad was super excited to be there, and he was actually nervous, which was like adorable because he wanted to do a good job for me. like he just didn't want to embarrass me at work, which is just so like awesome. And
Was
Yeah.
he? All right. So you're there with your dad. You're doing scenes. Do you guys behave differently? Are you both very professional? Obviously, he's trying not to embarrass you.
Yeah.
But it's your dad at the end of the day.
Yes. He was very professional, and everyone said, people were coming up to him and saying, "I've been watching you for years. Like, I think you're great." He was great, and I was the one that actually he like flubbed on a take, and the director said something to him, and then I was like, "Dad, hello, did you hear what she said?" And he like snapped. He was like, "Don't tell me what to do." Like, he was like, "I've been doing this since before you were born." So we got in like a little tiff, but we worked past it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you grew up around a lot of talent, and I imagine that influenced the direction that you've gone in your career and what you've decided to do. Have you ever gone to your father for advice, seeking consultation? What would you do in this scenario? What would you do in this scene? Stuff
Literally
like that.
everything. He's anything that I go through in the industry, like he's been through a bunch of times, so I can go to him for anything. He understands stuff. One thing he always tells me is like, especially when it comes to getting new jobs, he's like you don't have the job until you're on set shooting. Like, anything can happen. People get fired after table reads. Like, just different things can happen, and and all about dealing with the rejection, because actors go through tons of rejection. Like, and it's not personal. It's just you're not right for certain roles, and then when you are right for a role, it just works perfectly. And so just mostly about that stuff, because I started as a kid, so when I was young, it was like it's weird growing up and like getting rejected all the time and losing out on roles, and you don't understand why. So it's kind of just a weird childhood, but having him has been like amazing. He's also an acting teacher, so it's like I go to him for everything.
Did you not struggle with, but was it hard? Obviously, you just mentioned you're a kid, you're getting all this rejection. How long did it take for you to sort of cope with and understand, like, oh, it's not about me. This is just how this works.
I'm still dealing with it.
Still hard. Never goes away, does it?
It never goes away. Yeah, I don't know. I as a kid, like, I also kind of just like wanted to be a normal kid. So I acted. I did a couple big movies as a kid. One I did was Envy, and then one was Monster House, and then I did some random TV stuff. But I used to turn down auditions all the time because I wanted to go skateboarding with my friends, and my mom was like, "This is great. Like, I want you to have a normal childhood." I've been with the same talent manager since I was 9, which is hilarious. But yeah, I just like I went to normal school. I graduated high school. I didn't go to college, but my parents wanted me to have like a super normal education and be a child actor if it works. But it's mostly about me being a kid. So yeah,
Awesome, and that's a really good environment for you.
and so I didn't fully like care that much about the rejection as a kid. But then as I got a little older and I started to become like passionate about acting, I was like, well, now I actually care and I want to do this. So why aren't people hiring me?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Wow. Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Well, let's talk about a role you did get, Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic there. Now, I was looking at your IMDb, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems like the most intense thing you might have been a part of to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
definitely.
Monster House.
Definitely. This was my first horror movie.
Pretty nuts, man.
Yeah, it was.
Tell me all about it. How'd you get involved? What was it like, man? Talk me through the process.
It was super fun. Yeah, so I was obviously a fan of Blumhouse because last year they had a giant movie called Get Out that was just like the best ever, and so I was super excited. But when I got the audition, I was just like, I didn't feel like I was right for this role at all. I play this character named Ronnie, and he's like this like douchey frat guy who's like yeah, he's like a jock, and he's like he's in a frat, and he like talks about how many shots he takes all the time, and that's just like not necessarily me. So I went into the audition just like, I don't really have anything to do today, so I guess I'll go, but I don't feel right for this. But the director was like, you brought a different like shade to this that we hadn't seen. I had read a lot of people for this, and you came in and made it like kind of likable and kind of funny, which I wasn't expecting, which was cool. So it was really fun for me because especially the last few years, I've mostly been doing that show, The Goldbergs. So it was kind of cool to play something else for a little bit. But yeah, I'm super proud of it. It's really cool.
Talk about, all right, to your dad's knowledge there, you're on set. That's when you have the job. So here you are. You're on set. You have the job. Your first horror movie. Blumhouse. It's a big deal. Something that maybe you expected and then you were surprised by because you've been working on Goldbergs. This is a different planet, right?
Yeah.
So you walk into the set. I know what a set is, but then all of a sudden
I
it's
work
like,
on sets.
Exactly. But you walk in, you're like, oh man, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is crazy.
Actually, this was like it was a great job. Like it was, other than long hours, you know, because we shot this movie in like 23 days, which is crazy for a feature film. Yeah, because it was a low budget, so we made it really fast. But yeah, no, it went pretty smoothly. My parts, at least. It was really cool. Like the director let me improvise a lot and kind of play around, which is really actually a nice break from TV because, like I said, it's a formula. So it's a lot of writers work to make the script. So this was kind of like more of a free for all for my role, especially being like the comic relief, so I could play around more. But yeah, I mean this went like pretty smoothly, and we shot in LA, which was really cool, like right near me.
Did you, since you consult your dad on everything, did you consult him for advice on this? And did his advice change because of the nature of the project? This is a.
I mean, I always like read all my scripts with him and stuff, and like get his take on things, and he coaches me on stuff. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I remember him being like, "You can do this, like you got this," you know. But yeah, he I mean, it's obviously different for film, you know, because I think it should be more real and believable, especially with a horror movie. You know, you want to give like a very authentic and real performance. So that's probably the advice that he would have given me.
As a fan of scary movies, when you're in one, does that
They scare me.
They scare you,
but
yeah. Okay, so can you watch your own work? Let's start with that. Can you watch something that you're in?
Yeah, I always find it funny when actors are like, I just can't do it. I can't watch myself. I can. It's definitely like, like I get it. But like, I can watch myself. It's just you will naturally critique yourself. You're like, oh, I should have done that different, or like, you know. But you, yeah, I can watch it. I want to see, you know, how people are reacting and like how I think I did. So
you gotta know how it's reading in the room. So then here's my follow-up. So we've established scary movies, they scare you.
Yeah.
You can watch yourself.
Shocker.
Does who would have thought?
Yeah.
Does being in a scary movie make it more scary when you watch it? Or no, it's like
it was definitely less scary.
Yeah, it's less scary.
Yeah, it was less scary, and I could sit through it because I'm like, ooh, I've read the script. I know what's gonna happen.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, my sister, who's like 28 years old, she's a full-grown adult person. She said she didn't sleep the night after she saw it. I was like, are you serious? Like, come on. It's not that scary. Like, it's scary, but, you know, it is a movie that I think is geared more towards teens, you know, so it can't be that scary. It's a PG-13, you know. Come on. Grow up, Jenny Lerner.
Jenny does watch this show, by the way. She
Jenny's,
doesn't-
Jenny's probably not watching.
No, she doesn't? Okay,
she's
well,
not.
this is the one
She's working.
She's working right now. I'm getting this thing. I got to throw it over to audience Q&A, but before we do, just remind everybody, Truth or Dare is out right now. You can go see it in the Goldbergs every Wednesday on ABC. We've got some microphones in the room. The first one appears to be right here in the front. That's where we're going to start.
Hey, how are you, man?
Welcome back to New York.
Thank you.
Being from a popular TV show, did you and your other Truth or Dare co-stars, Tyler and Lucy, talk about the experiences being on TV sets versus film sets?
Yeah, totally. They were both on long TV shows, Pretty Little Liars and Teen Wolf. Yeah, we all kind of talked about how cool it is to be doing a movie. It's fun. Like TV is amazing, and it's you know, working in general as an actor is awesome. Like we're all fortunate to be working, but yeah, doing a movie is kind of fun because it's, you know, it's like 2 or 3 months, and it's except for this one, it was really fast. But you know, you spend a couple months on a character, and it's really quick, and then you're out. So it's kind of cool. It's just different, and it's fun. I think you get a little more creative freedom as opposed to on a TV show where there is more cooks in the kitchen. So yeah, we all were definitely just excited to be doing something, especially for we talked about how cool it is, like that we're doing this movie for Blumhouse, as we had just seen Get Out and seen all their success with all their movies. So yeah, we were excited.
Very cool.
Teen Wolf and Pretty Little Liars definitely have more of a scare element than the Goldbergs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that you had a harder time?
I think the Goldbergs is pretty creepy.
Yeah, you really get into
Yeah, you gotta watch. Come on, look at that. Look at those colors. It's all just, you know, it's you just adjust for whatever you're working on. But yeah, thank you.
It's interesting. The gentleman who was just here, Willie Geist, I was listening to his Bill Murray interview, and Bill Murray had
So
said,
cool.
So cool. Bill Murray had said, if you can do comedy, you can do drama. He's like, comedy's harder. Comedy, make somebody laugh. It's
I've heard
harder to
that.
do. Yeah.
I personally also believe that. I think that it's easier to cross over. I don't necessarily know if you can teach people how to be funny, but drama, also drama like scares the crap out of me. And I like if I'm doing a dramatic role, like I need to work really hard and get to that place because I try to live super lighthearted and I'm always just trying to be funny and so it's interesting. But yeah, I find that a lot of comedians are able to do drama very well.
Cross right over, yeah. We've got time with 2 more. Next one's gonna come from over here.
Hi. I was wondering what would be a dream role for you?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm sure that this could change, but as of now, like I've always just been like the biggest fan of Judd Apatow and like everything he's worked on. And I've gotten close on some of his projects, and like I've auditioned for different things, and I even met him once when I was younger. But yeah, I just like what those guys are doing. I think is awesome, and like like the Seth Rogen crew and like Danny McBride. Those guys are like the people I watch and look up to. So yeah, I mean, as of now, working with those guys would be awesome in anything. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that question. One more. We're gonna do one more. It's right here.
Hey, so do you have any like rehearsal habits or like pre-filming rituals you've picked up over the years?
Ooh, that's interesting. No, I get really nervous, so I don't know. I try to just like prepare a lot so that when I get there, I can like just deliver. But I don't know. I don't know. I probably like wipe my armpits a lot because I sweat. So that's my rehearsal ritual, like my pre-film sweat pad. Yeah.
That's the clip they're gonna cut out of this interview now.
It's gonna be great.
Lerner wipes his
Actually,
armpits excessively.
I had 2 like paper towels in my sleeves at the premiere of Truth or Dare last week. I was like in the car on the way there. I was just sweating. I was pouring. I was like, oh God. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, goodness. All right, I'm getting this signal. We're out of time, unfortunately, because that's an incredible story. But Sam, I got to thank you, man, so much for making time to come hang out. I hope you had fun.
This was a blast.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's good to hear, man. I'll remind everybody again, Truth or Dare, it's out there. You got to go see it if you haven't already. Lose some sleep. The Goldbergs, Wednesdays on ABC. Let's send them off right. JTP.
JTP.
JTP.